Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. I'm Nick. This is MSFS Flight Plans, and most of the time I'm on a mission to try to save the world through simming, but right now I'm on a mission to try to get you into flying the helicopters. And if you feel like you're up for the challenge, to do it without the assist on. This is the second of our exercise videos that I have uploaded. And what I'm trying to do with these is prevent you from making all of the mistakes that I was making that was making me absolutely horrified to even try to fly these things without the assist on, because it is just so incredibly difficult to try to make that transition. And again, this is for the folks that have probably tried flying them with the assist on and you're feeling kind of comfortable with it, but you might be like me thinking, I've been doing this for a long time, and heck, if I want to be a real simmer, I got to do it without the assist on. That's where I'm at. And I'm not good at doing it, as you're about to see, and that is exactly the reason why I'm making this video. As I said in our first exercise video, when you see someone get in here and just do it flawlessly, and then you try to hop in here and do it yourself and just flail all over the place, it's like, well, I'm never going to get that good, so I'm just going to give up. I want you to see that I'm flailing, and I want you to see the progress I'm making as I go along, because you guys get to see all of our normal flight videos. You can see that I am, in fact, getting quite a bit better flying these without the assists on. So again, this is the second of our videos, and I was initially thinking we might go out to Victoria Falls for another exercise that I have, but this one, I'm not sure what order I'm going to put them in until we do them all. And then once we've got all of our exercise videos, I'll say, hey, do this one first, do this one second, do this one third. I'm going to go ahead and say do this one second for now. We'll see how it goes. So a couple things we want to do, again, just on the front end, to make sure that we give ourselves all the advantages we can and make it as comfortable as possible. We don't want to be distracted by things that aren't helping us for what we're trying to achieve. So the first thing we're going to do is get completely clear skies and turn off that wind. And down to 0. Okay. So just a few more things that I've started doing even since that first exercise video. My biggest problem that I'm having, and I'm sure you guys can relate to this very well, is I'm getting so tensed up. So imagine you're just doing this in the comfort of your home. Maybe nobody's home. Maybe your wife or kids or somebody's watching you. Well, I've got to know that all of you guys are watching me do this, as I'm trying to do it as an example. So just amplify that stress up to like 11. And that's where I'm at. So my biggest problem isn't necessarily a lack of control. What's causing my lack of control is my body is getting so tense while I'm doing this. So you will hear me say over and over and over again, relax, 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 relax. That's not because I expect you're flying while you're watching this video, because I know you're not. That is me telling myself to relax. So one thing that's helped out with that, on my cyclic, which is what you would call, I guess, the flight stick in a regular aircraft, I have tucked my pinky back behind it. And the reason why I'm doing that is it will not let me put my palm against it, which means I can't give it the death grip because it gets very uncomfortable. And it actually feels pretty comfortable and natural once you get used to that. And I'm doing the same thing on my collective. Within literally a minute, I would be gripping both those things so hard, my palms would be sweating, my arms are all tensed up, my shoulders are touching my ears. It's a bad situation. So that's one thing. If you find that you're giving them the death grip, stick your pinky back there behind it. So I've really got my middle finger and my ring finger grabbing it, and then my thumb, because my index finger would be on the trigger of this thing, and I don't want to death grip that, or it'll do this. We'll switch camera views. So I've just got my two middle fingers, and then my pinky on the back of it, and then my thumb and my index finger just kind of lightly resting on the top. Same thing with my collective down to my left. So that's a little tidbit for you that may help with the death grip if you've got that problem, and I'm sure you do. The second thing that I'm going to do, and I'm going to keep saying it over and over and over again, not for you, but for me, but I hope that you'll also implement this, is do not look at the ground. Do not look at anything directly in front of you. Out here in LA, we have a beautiful, huge, flat horizon on this side and some mountains off on the distance on the other side. The name of this game is to always look as far off as you possibly can. You're going to be looking at everything that you're trying to hit once we get to the landings, which we'll do after these initial practices. Even then, we're not going to look down at the pad. You look at the pad, you're going to lose. That's the name of this game. So the first thing we're going to do is pull on up to just a basic hover. That's how I always like to start, looking off in the distance. And we are back in the R22 again, because that's what I've been doing all my practice in. Slowly bringing that collective up till it starts to come up a little bit. Keep your eyes on the horizon. And someone had mentioned after my first exercise video, I said try to hover at about 15 to 20 feet up in the air. And they said actually you should be hovering, if you're doing hovering practice, at like 3 feet above the ground. And as I've been watching videos of guys that are doing it in real helicopters, they are much closer to the ground. So if you want to do that, that's fine. But the problem you're going to run into, all right, I'm about to intentionally do this, is if you're too close to the ground, until you get better with that collective, you're going to be doing a lot of this. You're going to be bouncing up and down off the ground. And it may even crash if you're too high. So until you get comfortable with that collective and maintaining an altitude, I'd say stay just a little bit higher, even though that might not be what a certified flight instructor would tell you to do. But I'm not a CFI, so I can tell you to do whatever the heck I want. All right, so just keep it. I just looked at the ground. Stay in the distance. Do not look towards the center of the window, directly out the front. Just keep an eye on that horizon. You can see that pad down there. You don't need to look at it. Just get into a nice hover. Work that collective a little bit. Keep your eyes off in the distance. I can see just the rim of this building down there. I can tell which way I'm going. So just try to get back in that hover. I'm just trying to get back to the center now. Do not look down. You'll be so tempted to look down. Don't do it. Do not look down. Alright, not my best hover, but you get the idea. And someone had told me there's some kind of a glitch in the sim where helicopters don't hover well on elevated platforms. But this is working alright for us right now. And that's all I know, so if it made a difference or not, I wouldn't know. Alright, so just get to your hover. Always start with getting in the hover. Just get a feel for your helicopter, even if it's the same one you've been flying for the last 6 hours of practice, like this R-22 here. And then once you do that, maybe do a couple of up and downs gently if you want to. Do not look at that pad. Do not look at that pad. Relax. Relax. Eyes in the distance. Eyes in the distance. Relax the grip. Relax the shoulders. Okay, so now I'm going to swing off the building a little bit, and we're going to come back around. Try to do it as controlled as you can. We're going to come down to, we're about eye level with the top, not where the pad is, but the top of those little pointy things there. Regain control. Don't look at the points. Look in the distance. They're right there. You can see them in your periphery. And try to line yourself up with the front of one the best you can. Alright, get stable. And all we're going to do is come up and down facing one of those spikes. Gently, gently, under control. And the name of this is to try, when you get to the point where you want to stop, which is going to be at that next ridge there, do it without dipping below it. Relax your grip. Relax your grip. Don't go below that rim. Don't do it. Relax your grip. Relax your shoulders. Look through the building. That sounds weird. Look through the building. If you remember those magic eye pictures from the 90s where you kind of got to let your eyes go out of focus and you just stare through it and then all of a sudden you see a 3D picture in it? Same thing here. Let the building go blurry if you need to. Just look through it. Get up to the top. Don't go above it. Gently come back down. Prepare your collective for when you're going to need a little bit more of it so you don't go down further than you need to be going. And if you were seeing how much I was moving my collective right now, if you were watching in real life, if you were sitting here in my sim pit with me, you'd say you're not moving your collective. That's how little I'm moving it. Just millimeters at a time, maybe not even that much. Maintain control. Up, down, up, down. Okay, so hover first, then up and down. And you can slide over the next one if you want to. You'll lose control. Whenever you lose control, all right, let's just say I was coming to this one. All right, lost control. Break it off, break it off. Relax your shoulders, relax everything else. Get back under control before you start the next one. Totally under control, totally stationary. Then you can do the next one. Don't try to just zip over there and regain control. All right, I'm still not fully under control like I want to be. That's about right. So now I'll come up and do the next one. I don't want to come up that fast, so just ease down that collective. Stop at the top. You start to lose control. Look through the building. Relax your hands. Relax your legs. Relax your shoulders. Look through the building. Don't focus on that little point right in front of you. If you lose control, break it off. Back away from the building so you don't smack into it. Regain control. Creep up to it. Do it again. Okay, so that's number 2. Now we're going to back up a little bit more. And you know what? Let's stay at that lower lip there. We won't go down to the balcony yet. So just get even with that lip underneath the US Bank sign, the one that we're using as our kind of base before. Get yourself stable. Don't get too close. You'll get nervous. Once you get better, you can get closer to it. Right about here is probably good. Now we're just going to circle this thing to the right first, maintaining altitude. And if you can, try to maintain distance from it. And this is why we were working on the circling the circle back in Tokyo. Try not to let it swing around too much. Maintain control, maintain altitude. Just circle around this thing. Try to keep the nose pointing towards the center. Relax, relax, breathe, relax. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Relax your thighs, relax everything. Take a deep breath. Look through the building. Work yourself around. And this helps. It adds a little bit more complexity than just circling the circle like we were doing before, because you can kind of get a bead on how you're maintaining your altitude here. So it'll really help you control that. So this is really more for me about collective work and just maintain that altitude outside of just a standard hover. Alright, we won't make this a hour-long video while I'm doing this, but you get the idea. Go back, go the other direction, so let's just try that real quick. We'll start going the other direction. Stopping and going the other direction is the hard part. If you lose control, relax, break it off, regain control, stabilize. I'm not going to start until I'm totally stabilized again. Alright, now we'll try going the other way. Get that altitude back down. I've gotten up a little bit high. Getting a little close to the building. If I lose control, I'm going to break it off and restabilize. Alright, that was not good, so I'm going to break it off, get back under control, stabilize, slowly creep back up to it, look through the building, and try to start coming the other way. You can see it's not easy at all. And it appears I'm a lot better going in a counterclockwise direction. Let's see if I can just get one decent little pass here, semicircle. Alright, I'm going a little too fast. Not trying to impress anyone, that's faster than I want to go. I'm not trying to go that fast, I don't want to be going that fast. Okay, so that would be the second one. Go around and round and round. And you're looking at this and you're going, well, that's sloppy and it's not good. It doesn't matter, just do it. It's going to be sloppy, it's going to be horrible. You're going to have to keep breaking off, telling yourself to relax. Totally break off, totally back away, get it back under control, just relax. You're going to be so much better for doing this. Even if the whole thing is just a big pile of slop. Okay, so now we're going to do what I call the barber pole. We're going to come up while we're circling this thing. Under control. Just keep coming around. Try to keep the same distance from the building. When you get to that top lip, slow down. Try to get it even. Without stopping, try to come back down. Try to keep the same distance. Keep control. We're getting a little bit of stuttering because we're in LA and we're in a helicopter. Same speed of descent and ascent. Same speed around the building. Nose pointed towards the center. Relax. Stop here at that little balcony area. Bring it back up again. Try to stay the same distance from the building. Look through the building. Coming back up the other side. Nose pointed towards the center. Through the building. Relax. Relax. My pinky's about to break off. I'm grabbing it so hard. But at least I'm not giving it the death grip. Okay, and just go around as many times as you like. So, if you look around here, look at all of these buildings with helipads. Every one of these things has a helipad on top of them. So now we're going to do a little work on the landings. And this is what we've been doing all this stuff for. Do not start with the landings. Don't go out and just practice up, down, up, down. That's the surest way to get frustrated really, really quick. If you've done the first set of exercises and you feel like you've gotten somewhat good at that, come out, try these for a little while. Don't try to work on landings. Yes, I know you're going to try to land at the end of your flight. That's fine. But don't make that the focus of your practice. Now we're going to work on a few landings. And here is where we have the fun part. As I mentioned at the start of this video, the name of this game is do not look at that pad. You'll see it in your periphery just fine. Look off in the distance. Let's see, what building is that? It doesn't have a name on it, but let's go to the Bank of America building because at least you'll know what I'm looking at. Okay, Bank of America building. I only looked at it to see what it said on it. Alright, I'm keeping my eyes off in the distance, and it looks like we have an AC unit on the top of that, so I'm going to kind of come down, come off to the side. I'm going to do all this without looking at the pad. You look at the pad, you've lost. You got to email me $5. You'll be like, I can't, I got to see where I'm going. No, you don't. You can see it just fine. Do not look down at that thing. Look off in the distance, top of the mountains. Slow and easy. You don't need to cruise over there real quick. You can kind of sense how high you are. We're too high, so I'm dropping it down. I can tell without even looking at it that we're high. Not a problem. And I wouldn't mess with your trims for these exercises yet, because then you're just going to be really fighting the stick when you try to get back in the hover, so I have not touched my trims at all. I can see the pad down there in my periphery. It's not in focus. Couldn't tell you any of the details on it, but I know it's down there. But when you look off in that horizon, you will not be overcorrecting nearly as much. Your flight will become much more smooth. And then when you get down, the thing that was killing me, as I mentioned in our flight out in Baton, those last few feet over the ground, I found that just using my periphery instead of looking at the ground is helping that a lot. Oh, I want to look at that so bad. Don't do it. Do not look down. Oh, my eyes are just like watering because they're just glued open. I want to look at the ground so bad. All right, looking at the horizon. I can see it down there. I can see it down there. Come in nice and easy. Keeping my eyes off on the horizon. Yep, I see it down there. I see it down there, no problem. And then just gently set her on down the best you can. Alright, that was terrible. And that's perfectly fine. Let's try another one. And guess what I did right at the end? Looked at the ground. You're like, that's crazy. Yep, you do it. You'll see. You look at the ground, you're going to wind up doing exactly what I did. Alright, let's try the Wells Fargo building over here. We got a nice easy pad over there. Alright, off in the distance, see that big mountain over there? That's what I'm looking at. And it's just amazing when you look in the distance how much smoother the flight gets. I don't know what it is about that makes you start doing all the overcorrecting and jerking around when you look down at the ground, but you get a much more sense of the overall movement of the helicopter when you're not... I think your eyes are just focused too much on the top of the glare shield, on the little rim of the footwell there. When you're looking in the distance there, you just don't seem to react to it quite as fast than when you're looking down at the ground. Alright, so this is like horseshoes. If you're touching the side of the circle, you only get 1 point. If you're totally in the middle of it, you get 2 points without anything touching the side. Oh, no, that's a leaner right there. Not bad, better than the last one. Okay, up we go again. That one off to the right is really angled, so let's try coming down a little bit. One of the others a little bit lower around here. Look in the distance. There's another one right there. Perfect. On the Deloitte building. Look off in the distance. Relax, 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 relax. Breathe. Look off in the distance. This has been a game changer for me, the distance thing. I saw all the flight instructors say, keep looking in the distance. I said it in my first video. Came out here, tried to work on landings. Next thing you know, I'm staring right at the pad when I'm coming down. As if I would somehow miss it if I'm not looking directly at it. Not the case. You know where it is. Alright, easy. I'm going too fast, so I'm just going to slow down. Slow down. Keep your eyes in the distance. Eyes in the distance. I know it's right in front of you. Don't look at it. Do not look at it. Relax, 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 relax. Breathe. And bring her on down. Did I get it? Oh, no. Got another leaner. Okay. Alright, I'm going to try one more. See if I can get a full 2-pointer here. Okay, let's try whatever that next one is over there with a big white one on it. This will be the last one for this video. Actually, I'm going to show you guys one more thing that'll just be a little reward for yourself when you're done. That I thought was pretty fun. Alright, I just looked at the pad. Shame on me. I got to send one of you guys $5. Off in the distance, looking at the very tops of that mountain ridge over there. Relax, breathe, breathe, relax, relax. Ease that grip up. Keep an eye on the distance. Nice and slow and easy. We're going to go crazy here in a minute. You can get all out of your system. Oh, this one doesn't have a circle. I'll just see if I can get on the top of the H there. Ooh, okay. Oh, right, just get into a hover. Relax, relax, relax. In real life, that's probably what you try to do. Pull up a little bit, regain control, get back into a hover. And I just looked at the pad. Okay, look off in the distance. Off in the distance. And ease it down. Alright, well, that would have probably been a leaner too. Okay, guys, I'm telling you, you go do this, you do that tower work. You know what, just for fun, if you want to, you can break the rules. Try to do a few landings, then go do your tower work, and then try to do it again. You're going to be shocked, I'm telling you. Okay, let's have a little fun real quick. Alright, here we're good. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go down and fly really low to the ground, in between some buildings, and just follow some city streets, take some really tight turns, just have a lot of fun with this thing. So we'll follow this one for a little while. This is your reward for doing a good job. Keep looking in the distance. Alright, so we're going to bang a hard right. See if you can actually stay above the streets while you're doing this. Little tour of LA here. Alright, we'll take this turn. Try to keep from gaining too much altitude when you do that. Oh shoot, that doesn't look like much of a street, does it? Alright, we'll take a left on this street up here. Keep that nose down. You'll wind up getting too still. You want to keep your forward momentum going. Keep that nose down so you keep the forward momentum going. Because when you go into the turns, I'm not sure what the physics of it are. I'm sure one of you guys that flies helicopters in real life could tell me. And if you stomp on the anti-torque pedals, it'll also have a tendency to want to just nose up and then slow down really quick. All right, is this a big street here? Nope, let's just keep going a little bit till we find at least a clear street that we can see. Oh, we got a little S-curve there. That's cool. Nose down. Nose down. All right, I'm going to take a left right here through this neighborhood. Nose down. Let's get even a little bit lower. Well, if you can find a spot a little bit closer to the water, there aren't as many trees and it's a little bit easier. I got to get some roads that we can actually see. I'm going to see how low we can go and how fast we can do it, just for the fun of it. If you crash, so what? This is your reward for keeping your eyes in the distance at the horizon. And try not to stay leaning. I have a tendency to stay leaning sometimes a little bit too long. And take your foot back off the anti-torque pedal. I still had full right pedal there, so just be mindful of everything that's going on. All right, we're going to take this street here. Ooh, yeah. Pulling some G's there. Foot off the pedal, ease off, keep the nose down. We'll take it right on this street right here, and then we'll try to find a little spot to land for us. We probably could have done those little tennis courts there. All right, hard right, nose down, nose down. Ooh. Ease back off that pedal. Even her out. Okay, so let's see how much harder it is to come down. Let's try that parking lot right there. There's a lot of trees there. How about that thing right in front of us, that square thing, rectangular thing? Bring the nose up, collective down to burn off that airspeed. Now the challenge with this is we're going to have stuff all around us, and it's not going to be as easy to keep your eyes on the horizon because there's going to be buildings all around us. So I'm going to do it anyway. Keep my eyes on that big stack of buildings over there in the distance, behind all that haze. I can see that parking lot. I know where it is. Relax, breathe, shoulders down, thighs relaxed. Just want to get it at least in my peripheral vision. All right, here we go. See if I can get her in roughly the center of the parking lot. Eyes in the distance. You can see everything around you. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Eyes in the distance, up above those buildings, kind of where the sky's meeting the horizon there. Look at that. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Guys, you'll be able to do it, I'm telling you, but you got to put the work in. You got to do the stuff that's sloppy and messy and flailing all over the place. You'll get it. And that's it, guys. Hope you had fun. Can't wait to see you again in the skies. Let me know how you're doing, by the way. And if you guys are professional pilots or if you're just really good at doing it in the sim without the assist on, and if you have any exercises you like to do, let me know. Later.